Hello friends, welcome to C# Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. In this sub-series, we are watching C# Graphical Device Interface GDI+. In this video, we will see preparing the UI, and in the next 3 videos, we will dig into solid brush, gradient brush and pattern brush. These are all the slide decks from our previous parts. First we learned how to draw a rectangle. Then we adjusted the pen color and thickness. Next we learned the brush types. Now we will concentrate on enabling and disabling the control. Enabling and disabling in the sense here we will show or hide controls based on the option user clicks. CHK brush enable, let's say this is 1. So here we are handling the checked changed, and when this checkbox is in checked state, we control the visibility of the GRP brush. So GRP brush here is this one, the outer one. So this is the group box, right? Outer group box without any title. So we show or hide this particular group box based on the check state of this enable. So once we hide this group box, since it's a parent for all the other control inside it, it will hide all the controls. So when a check mark is not placed here, you won't see any control, and once you place a check mark, you will see all the advanced brush related controls. So during the form load, GRP ADV brush visible, we are setting it as false. So this is the GRP ADV brush. So we are hiding it by default. When form is loaded, we hide this group box, and we will show this when user places a check mark here in the advanced brush. So that's the event next we handle. CHK ADV brush. So this is the CHK ADV brush, and when this particular brush is in checked state, so we are showing the advanced brush, and this one is the advanced brush, GRP brush ADV. We are showing it, and we are hiding the GRP brush solid, this one. So this means when we are showing the advanced brush, this gradient hatch brush, we are hiding this. Otherwise, we will show the solid brush and we hide hatch brush. So this is controlled based on the tick mark here in the advanced brush. So when tick mark is there, we will show it. We will show the advanced and we will hide the solid. And when there is no check mark here in the advanced brush, we will show this and we will hide gradient and hatch brush. Next, if you see label hatch brush, when we click that, so this label, it is here. Let's say this is actually a label. It looks like a button. So we already talked about this when we designed our form. Here we are checking the content of this label, lbhgr.txt. When the label currently shown is gradient, we change the label to hatch brush. Then we will show the control which belongs to the hatch brush. So for example, lbl hatchpat visible equal to true. Next, we will enable all the control that is related to the hatch brush. So those radio buttons will come here. Then we will change the label. At present, what you are seeing is controls related to gradient brush, and the group box title is from and to, that means from color and to color. But when user clicks here, we need to change the mode from gradient to hatch. So here we rename this, we rename the caption, then we will show all the controls here. Then we will change the group box header from to fore color and back to back color. We are just changing the label, and in the else portion, if you see, we are alternating it. So if the label is not reading gradient, or if the label is reading hatch, then we will land up here and we change the label to gradient. Then label HIT path visible, we are setting it as false. Then here we are enabling the control, right? All this stuff we are disabling it. Here if you see hatch brush, these are all the hatch brush related control, and here we are disabling it. Then we are changing the label from for color to from, that's what you are seeing here, then to. So it acts like a toggle, and you can switch the mode or the brush mode from gradient to hatch and hatch to gradient. Likewise, we will flip the controls. Here you can see the controls related to the hatch brush. So here is a label, right? LBL hatch pattern visible true. Let's say this is a 2, and that specific control is here. This is actually a label, and we show this label when the mode is hatch. And if it is not hatch brush, we will hide this one. We will hide this label and all the controls related to the hatch brush. That's what we are doing here. And this takes place on the click event of this specific control, and the control name is LBL hatch GR, hatch gradient. All right. Next, so this is the solid brush related control, right? Here we have a utility function get solid brush color from UI. This is not a event routine, it's just a function, and it takes color as a argument. And if you see, this is the out parameter, that means the value will get assigned here inside this function, and whoever is calling it, let's say it is called from fx. After calling this function, they will have a valid color in the parameter if they are passing it. So this is the function, right? The function, and if they pass the argument x, and they can use the x, so x will get filled during this function call. So let's see what happens inside this function. So first we check already sol brush red checked. Let's say this is 1, already sol red. So this is the one. If it is in checked state, then this is the output parameter, right? Here we are setting color.red. Then green, this is the green. If it is in checked state, then we assign color as green. Then otherwise we assign this color to the output variable. So this is a utility function. After the call, the caller will get the solid brush color based on the user choice. So this one is for both gradient as well as hatch brush. So here we need 2 color, right? If it is a gradient brush, color 1 and color 2, which is involved in linear interpolation. This is for gradient brush. And if it is a hatch brush, we still get color 1 and color 2, but we will use those 2 color for foreground as well as background color. So the control will be same, and if you see here, we are passing reference parameter color 1 and color 2. Already hatch col1 blue checked. That means this one we are checking whether it is in checked state. We are setting color 1 as blue, otherwise we are setting color 2 as blue. So that means here we satisfied this one. Next, so color 1 we are picking it from here, and color 2 we are picking it from here, and you will see that if already hatch col2 green checked, this one, if it is in checked state we assign green, otherwise we set yellow. So here color 2 also satisfied. That's all this function do, and we will use this function for both hatch as well as gradient brushes. Next, we have inflate rectangle. Why? Because when we are painting the rectangle, we want to override the stuff that is drawn by the pen. So for inflate we need two variable. One is pen thickness. Based on this pen thickness we have to inflate the rect. So inflating the rect is nothing but, let's say this is the original rectangle. Inflate means we can provide some dimension so that we will get a inflated rectangle with margin applied on all four sides. So that way when you point something here, we won't overwrite the pen stuff. Why? Because when we draw something using the pen, we use the rectangle, and we cannot use the same rectangle to paint. You can use, but what happens, it will remove the painting done by the pen. So here we need to consider this pen size. So that's what we are checking here. Already one checked, it is true. Then we assign this thickness with 1, 3 or 5. After this, so this is required for inflating. Next, if you see, inflate to equal to thickness. So whatever thickness is assigned here, it can be either 1, 3 or 5 based on the selection. Here in this example, if you see, the selection is 1. So the thickness will be 1, that will get assigned here. We will be having inflate to as 1. So if user placed a check mark here, then inflate thickness will be 3. So here what we are doing, rectangle X, let's say this is the original rectangle drawn by the pen, thickness 3. So this portion is right, this is thickness 3. So this is not true rectangle, but it's covered by pen thickness. This will be 3. Here what we are doing, rect X equal to rect X plus inflate 2. So this is the corner, right? From X we are applying this X. Similarly we apply Y, thereby we reach the inner corner here, X and Y. Then width, if you see, this is thickness 3 and this is also thickness 3. That means we found our corner in the sense, if you see it here, this will be the pen thickness, right? It can be 1, 3 or 5. Let's say this is 3. That's why first we are locating the X and Y, 3 here and 3 here. In X 3 and in Y 3, and we locate this for the paint region. After that, and if you see width and height, we are multiplying the inflated dimension by 2. So first width, this is the entire width. Then inflate 2. Inflate 2 will give 1, 3 or 5. Let's say this example 3, and this thickness is 3 and there is thickness 3, totally 6. 3 plus 3, 6, or thickness into 2, 3 into 2 equal to 6. So that's what here we are doing. So we are reducing the width by thickness into 2, because 2 left and right, top and bottom. So same goes for the height. So that way now we reduced the rectangle dimension, and what we will get is the inside portion. So if this is the thickness, and we get inflated rect, and when we paint something, it will not disturb the stuff that is drawn by the pen. Alright, this is one utility function. Here you pass the rect, and the rect dimension will get diminished based on the pen thickness. So if this is the original rect, it will be reduced in size for painting. And if I move it here, it will be like this, and we will be painting this, and whatever drawn by the pen will not get disturbed. That's all here. Let's add these functions, and we will run the program in the next video, but we will make the code changes here. Let's go to the demo. Okay, we will change this as sample 4. We need to handle the click event of this one. We'll go to property and we will pin it. We'll select it once again. So checked changed, that's what we are going to implement. So here we are controlling the visibility of the GRP brush. And if you see GRP brush is, we will go to document outline. If you see GRP brush, so all the control inside it will get removed. I mean, will get hidden. All right. Now we will check this once. If you see, this is what we are doing with this checkbox. Next, we should go to form load. I'm clicking on the title, or you can in the document outline, you can click the form, then switch to properties. This is property, and this one is event. Click on the event and go to load. Double click here. Then write the code on the form load. So advanced brush, by default we are disabling it. That means this entire section we will disable. GRP brush, not this one. Then GRP brush ADV, GRP brush ADV. All right. So now when we load the form, if you see, this section get hidden. So by default we are showing only the solid brush related control. Next, when user places a check mark here, we need to show the controls related to advanced brush. So that's what we are going to implement now. Here we will go for checked changed. So if you see advanced brush and solid brush, we are showing, when we are showing the advanced brush, we are hiding the solid, and when we are showing the when we are hiding the advanced brush, we are showing the solid brush. And this is done based on the check state of CHK ADV brush, which is nothing but this one. So let's check that now. So by default we are showing the solid brush. The moment I ask to show the advanced brush, we will hide the solid brush related control, and we will show the advanced brush related control. Next, we need to flip this, and we will do that now. So this is the control name, LBL hatch gradient, and we need to handle the click event for that. So as already explained in the PowerPoint slide, we show or hide control related to hatch and gradient based on the label text. Based on the label text of this particular label. So this is a label control, and we already talked about this, and here we set border style as fixed 3D. That's why you are seeing it as a kind of a button or with a different border style. Alright, now by default solid brush is shown, advanced brush, and we can switch between hatch and advanced, hatch and gradient brush. Gradient brush requires from and to color to perform linear interpolation between the two colors, and hatch brush requires fore color and back color as well as the pattern. Here we have some sample pattern, but there are many patterns available. You can check that using the IntelliSense or Microsoft documentation. Alright, next we have some utility function which we already explained in the PowerPoint slide. Codes are available in the video description. You can use it, and if you see, now we wrote the first function, get solid brush color. So that function reads the information on this section. Next we have get color 1 and color 2. That's for solid and gradient brush, and if you see here, we read the color 1 and color 2 when it is gradient. When it is hatch brush, that time also we read from the same set of control. And if you see, we just change the header title when we flip the label here. So when it is gradient, we flip the label to hatch, then we call the group header as a fore color and back color, here from and to color. Because this is gradient brush, this title hold good from and to color. For hatch brush, instead of from and to, we have to call it as a fore color and back color. Alright, that's all here in this video. We will check once. When form is displayed, it displays only the solid brush, and if you disable this, there is no brush here, only pen related controls are shown. Then you can move from solid brush to gradient or hatch brush. Once you are in gradient or hatch brush, you can flip between gradient or hatch. Alright, all are ready. From here we can start implementing the brush related operation in the next 3 videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.